Alright, calculate cosine inverse of negative square root of 2 halves. Cosine of negative inverse of square root of 2 halves equals blank degrees. Enter your answer as the number or numbers that correctly fill in the blank in the previous sentence. If there is more than one solution, enter each solution separated by commas like so, 42, 53. Okay, there's two ways we can do this. We can use the unit circle. This, again, is underneath the announcements tab in the website resources announcement, and notice that it has cosine and sine right there at the top. That is different than the inverses. However, we're going to use this to our advantage. Cosine is in the x coordinate position and sine is in the y coordinate position. So again, notice that the inverse trig functions are looking for the angle measure where the side length ratio is given in the parentheses. So this is the side length ratio that they want, and notice that it is also part of our x and y coordinate. Now we have to determine whether it's the x coordinate or the y coordinate, and that is given by this cosine right here. So that means it's the x coordinate. So I'm looking for x coordinates of negative square root of 2 halves. So that's a positive square root of 2 halves. There's the negative square root of 2 halves. And also notice that it occurs again down here. So it happens in two places. It happens at 135 degrees, and it also happens at 225 degrees. So we are going to enter in two answers, 135, comma, space, 225. And that's how you would use the unit circle to answer this question. Now, you can use a calculator on this. So if you go to just Google calculator, you click this inverse button right there, and then there's cosine inverse, and you would type in negative square root of 2, close those parentheses, divided by 2, close those parentheses. So it gives us 135. Now how do we get the 225 unit? Notice that these repeated in different quadrants, quadrant 2 and quadrant 3. And to change between quadrants, it's a 90-degree shift. So you would notice you would add 90 degrees. And that'll give us 225. Now, the reason why I know I'm not going to add it more than once is because I know that an x coordinate only is negative in quadrant 2 and in quadrant 3. This has also reminded us right here, that's the x coordinate, and here's the y coordinate. Here's the x coordinate symbol, and here's the y coordinate symbol. So that's how I know there will be 2, is because I know x is negative in quadrant 2 and in quadrant 3. And the quadrants are separated by 90 degrees, so that's how I knew to add 90 degrees to the 135.